But if anyone wants to think for ABBA, non-obvious ones is one of my favourite own playlists I listen to. And I stick it on and people go, who's this? I'm like, it's ABBA. I'm like, Jesus, I never heard this song before. I'm like, they have serious material. And I mean, if you're not converted after that,
forget it.
Here's your next one.
My next one is the presidents of the United States of America.
They're misunderstood.
I believe they're misunderstood.
As in terms of, what I think they've only got a couple of good songs, maybe?
Well, I think that they weren't a one-hit wonder band because they had two big songs.
Two huge songs.
Yeah, they had Lump and they had Peaches.
Yeah,
right?
they're both massive.
Massive, and they're not very good. They're grand. They're fine.
Peaches, I can take or leave. I love Lump.
Lump had the video for Lump sold it more than the song, I believe.
I'm trying to remember the video.
It was when they were jumping around fighting ninjas in a swamp.
Oh, yeah. No, that was Peaches.
Oh, yeah, that was Peaches. Lump was in a swamp as well. It was, yeah. The boat were in a swamp.
Lump sat alone in a boggy
marsh. That's us shut down now. And
Martians came in different song. Was it because that vocal was so accurate?
Yeah, exactly.
So the algorithms kind of picked that up and focused
Soundhound or Shazam.
You know what? I'll try and sing it okay next time, but I can't promise anything.
It's hard to do this as a synthwave artist.
With no vocals on any songs.
I believe that the Presidents, which is a terrible, terrible name for a band, by the way, it's just atrocious.
It is awful.
It's just horrific. It's too long. It's too everything. It's garbage.
It's off-putting.
I believe that people thought they were a gimmick band, simply because those two big lead singles. They were huge. They were popular. To this day, people remember words to them, all that kind of garbage.
Yeah.
The fact that they kind of invented instruments. They had the bass guitar and the git bass. So they put bass strings on guitars and guitar strings on basses. And they only had one guitar had 3 strings, one guitar had 2 strings. You know, it was just these weird make-you-uppy things.
I like that. Meow, 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 meow. Fuck you, little kitty. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, Kitty.
Again, I fucked up the algorithm there again. But, although we said course, so...
Yeah,
in a different bracket, Grant.
I liked the first album that came out because of those singles, and after a while I hated those singles. And then the second album came out. I think it's just called 2, and it was kind of more the same. It was that pop-driven rock kind of stuff. So I had a couple of singles. None of the songs were as big.
Yeah, I was surprised by a lot of my friends who are mad into them and going to every gig and going to see them in England and stuff. I'm like, really?
Yeah, they just want to hear the first.
No, they were big fans. They're what you were talking about.
Yeah.
They had those albums. They were albums
They kind of disappeared for a while, and they came back with a couple of weird albums that got no press, no promo whatsoever, none, zero.
Yeah.
And the songs on those ones are outrageous.
Yeah.
What song did I pick? I picked The Last Girl on Earth. And it's real catchy, but it's got this
she'd have her
weird...
work cut out for her, wouldn't she?
Yeah. I am running all the time, just legging it and hiding.
Sitting alone in a boggy marsh.
Yeah, exactly. Eating peaches. They're throwing me out.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, God. I picked that song just because it's a good example of the slightly different take that they went down. They start bringing more kind of blues and kind of jazz orientated stuff into their music as well, yet keeping it very poppy and sing-alongy. They lost some of the kind of stupid bullshit. There wasn't as many songs about insects living in cities. You know what I mean? And cats running around. They still have stupid fucking songs, don't get me wrong. But what happened was the singer, Chris Bellew, he started a couple of side projects. One was called The Giraffes, and there was a famous band called The Giraffes, and it's not them. He had another one. And it was just him and a 4-track in his basement. And it was supposed to be, it was all his child's cuddly toys and teddy bears.
Right.
And they were meant to be the people in the band. So his name wasn't even on the album, and there was all these songs about being a teddy bear. It was just garbage, right? But it was fun as fuck, and all the songs were very well written. But what's interesting about him, Chris Bellew, the singer from the Presidents of the United States of America, he used to live with Beck, and he was in Beck's band at the start.
Really?
Yeah, he played with Beck for years.
I love Beck.
And that was his first actual kind of paying job as a musician. So he lived in an apartment with Beck for
that
years.
Must have been rough going, actually.
Quite possibly.
Or maybe not.
Well, he's born Scientologist, isn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, born. So maybe not. Maybe straight as an arrow. Who knows? But yeah, he lived with Beck for years, and he played in Beck's band. I don't know whether he played on any albums. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure by the time Beck got going, I'd say Presidents were probably revving up as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that they were... I believe that Presidents were taken as a gimmicky, not necessarily nostalgia band, but like a humorous, fun, token bullshit band. But in the years that they operated, I think they knocked it on the head in 2016.
Really? Did it go on that long?
Yeah, till 2016. 1993 till 2016. They had a couple of little kind of breakdowns here and there. The guy who played...
Mental breakdowns.
Yeah. The guy who played guitar went on to play in Duff McKagan's Loaded. He played in Loaded.
I saw them live and they were brilliant.
Yeah. He plays in Loaded. I don't know if he does it all the time.
Yeah.
But they put 6 albums out in that time.
I thought they had like 2, 3.
Yeah, they have a bunch of them.
Maybe, yeah.
They have a bunch of them, and they all get more and more kind of elaborate as time goes on because they brought new members in. They brought like a kind of an organ player in and that kind of shit. But yeah, they were. Still to this day, I will find myself throwing on a random President's album just to remind myself of how fun they were and how serious they could get. You know,
they were quite unique for the time. Although
Very
you would
much.
think that like in the realm of Cake and Butthole Surfers they weren't, but they had completely their own sound, and it definitely hooked in the pop punk crowd massively,
big time.
But also hooked in like the more fun loving criminals and REM sort of REM fans who laughed the odd time. Those ones,
all for them.
Yeah,
all for them.
So yeah, I can see that.
All right, what's your next one?
They were a Swedish band.
Okay,
they divide opinion.
Yeah.
How people don't go. The podcast is skipping. He just said that it's Ghost.
Ghost.
They had to come in eventually.
They had to make an appearance.
And since they just announced another gig in Ireland, no better time. I do think they're misunderstood a lot. Now, like ABBA and like the Smiths, I can completely get behind why some people don't like them.
Yeah.
They've stepped into the realm as one of the biggest metal bands going right. Well, starting off now in the last 10 years, let's say. And they are like Bovril for people. It's like you love it or you hate it.
100%.
But I think they're misunderstood because I think a lot of people that hate them think that they are just Nickelback in it and just writing dirt music with like just going for the dollar. Now, Ghost do go for the dollar.
Yeah,
let's be honest with you. With that amount of merch and gigs, they're pushing. They're ramping up so far. They're on a roll now, and they're not going to stop until something stops them.
Yes, just until the tracks come off, like they're going.
Yeah, I don't know when that will ever be.
I look at tried to with that court case and all, but
yeah, but I just don't like. I'm trying to talk to some people about. No, I listened to one song and it was shite. I'm like, well, is that really a good example of
dig in, like
dig in a little bit more because I have sent. The song I picked is Cerise, which is my favourite song by them, and it's probably their biggest song.
It's definitely their biggest, yeah.
Bar maybe Square Hammer, I think, might be bigger.
Maybe. Square Hammer is more...
It's a pop song,
It's definitely a pop song.
They do pop songs, but their pop songs, again, they're still talking about the dark side, stonemasonry, evil devil.
I considered Ghost to be satanic ABBA. That's the way I always...
Well, they are. They're Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
I listened to Ghost... when was a song of Infinitesium, the Scooby-Doo song.
Year Zero.
No. The bleeding.
Gigolo.
No.
Zombie Queen.
No. The biggest song.
Sexual Haze. Spectral Haze.
Secular Haze.
Spectral.
Sexual Haze. That's a name for a band, Sexual Haze. Oh, Sexual Haze.
Secular Haze.
Unambiguous Sexual Haze. Secular Haze was the song I heard first, and I saw the video for it, which is kind of like a Top of the Pops, kind of Vaseline on the lens type of song. And it was fine. It didn't do a lot for me. It was like, this is kind of fucking weird.
That's that kind of more experimentally one, and it didn't grab me as much initially as Eponymous did.
Well, it was around that time that...
Eponymous? What the fuck's that? She's one of my favourite bands, and I just never...
No, there's too many weird names and words.
I'm not good with Latin.
Yeah.
It's not good with it.
It was around that time that I started reading about them, and I discovered that they were spreading this weird rumour that it was when nobody knew who anybody was in the band, right? And
they kept that in lockdown very
well. And it was only like the hardcore that could have figured it out by accident. And I read something that they designed the band to look, sound and feel like a band from the late 60s that had been forgotten about and
it's
rediscovered.
Like Orange Goblin or something like that. They had that feel,
Well, I heard Secular Haze and I was like, and it was around
Not
that
Orange
time.
Goblin, sorry. Suspiria people.
Don't know.
Yeah, that band.
That one.
The prog rock band from Italy. Yeah. That music from horror films.
Oh, yeah. But I heard that Secular Haze song and I said, all right, I want to do a little bit more digging.
They're just called Goblin, I just remember that.
Just Goblin.
No Orange Goblin.
Yeah, just
That's
Goblin.
a different band
That's
altogether.
Altogether a different band. Monster Magnet Goblin. And I went digging more, and it was around that time that Meliora came out.
Oh,
and that
game
hit me,
changer.
That was like a ton of bricks.
Game changer.
Yeah, absolute. That's the one that locked it all down. Like, I enjoy the first album, and I do enjoy second album. I do enjoy Infinitesimal.
Yeah, I
think
do
there's
now.
great stuff on there, but it's definitely it was them finding their legs.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Bends
Absolutely.
for Radiohead. They're finding their legs there,
Yeah.
and they nailed it then with Meliora.
Oh.
In particular with Cerise, they're just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
We've got the heavy, we've got the chanting, we've got the singing, we've got the hooks, we've got the melody, we've got the whole shebang. You know, we even have a video we made for a $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they weren't.
I
that
think
big.
an element of the misunderstanding is at least people, they should have to listen, especially if you're a songwriter, listen to the way they write songs. Or he writes songs. It's just the harmonies.
Yeah.
If you were to ever break them down, and I've no reason myself to ever break down all the layers of the songs ever, I would have no reason for that. But if I did, I would have to listen to some of the stuff they do with their harmonies in depth and go, Jesus, that's fucking clever. The bridges, the chorus, and the riffs. Riffs are derivative of Megadeth and Metallica and stuff like that, but they're not direct strokes.
No. There's a couple of bits and pieces that feel like ode to's.
Absolutely. Unabashed sometimes.
Yeah, like I think the solo and he is the solo up in Hotel California, and there's a bunch of that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's a couple of ZZ Top riffs in there.
Yeah.
And like,
But the Swedes are known for borrowing sometimes
of course,
and making it better, probably.
maybe. I believe that they're misunderstood because they are at their core a metal band.
Yeah.
And I believe that 90% of actual metalheads are fucking meatheads.
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of things with metalers is what are people going to think of me?
Yeah.
Is this hard enough?
Yeah.
Am I going to have to hand in me metal card if
Exactly.
I say I like something that has actual melody and
Yeah.
a bit of thing in it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's not hard as fuck, a lot of them won't have anything to do with
It's
it.
embarrassing to be like that. I'm sorry. I've known it all my life and I just don't care.
Yeah.
I've just...
I'm
A
very
banger
much
is
the
a
same.
banger.
Yeah.
And Jesus, to have to restrict yourself to not just metal, but then the hardest of the
Yeah.
metal within that genre.
Yeah.
And you're going to be listening to the same type of fucking music and the same riffs
And
and,
it's
the
going to
same
run out.
albums.
It's going to run out
big
like,
time.
all those genres run out.
And as well as that, people need to not take Ghost as seriously. They don't take themselves
No.
seriously. They sell it like a serious thing, which
Yeah,
is the best thing
it's
about
not.
it. They stand behind it to the best as we know they do, because we don't really know much. You know, he's only started doing interviews with himself now. But
Like
I would
they're Scooby Doo the band, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's meant to have that kind of kitschy 60s
Yeah.
Hammer Horror meets fucking Warner Brothers cartoon.
Yeah,
you
so,
know,
like,
Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
So, for
feel.
instance, his two favourite bands are Kiss
Yeah.
and the Misfits.
Yeah.
And do you ever take either of those bands seriously?
Exactly.
Not really.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. Both of those bands are brilliant.
Yeah.
And if you add the whole horror theme to that horror movies, lyrics about the devil, which I'm actually very surprised he hasn't run out of lyrics for.
He did in the last album.
Well, he did in the last one. Well, it still moved to quite kind of, I wouldn't say anti-religious, because he doesn't go balls deep on the anti-religion. Kind of like, you know, as obvious as you would think he was. He's not shouting "fuck God" and this bullshit.
I think
you know
there's
what I mean?
one reference to Lucifer in that entire album, maybe two.
Yeah.
And
But that's fair. I mean, he did three and two EPs.
but if the entire concept of the band is that he is like the Antichrist Pope, and the singer Papa is the Antichrist Pope, and that there's a new singer for every album that's 3 months younger than the last brother because they're whatever spawned in some fucking church.
Evil Benjamin Buttons.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fucking hell. The story is just outrageous. Apparently, he's making a movie about the story.
Well, it's going to be terrible because
Of course it is.
the story itself on the outside of it is like grand, but when they're making those videos, I'm not really into them.
No,
they're fun, but they're not.
They're-
The
yeah.
humour is not
It's
translating
not there.
well.
It doesn't work.
So
But-
I'd implore people to just listen to Meliora and a few of the riffs, especially stuff like Pinnacle to the Pit and Absolution, and go, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you go, okay, I have a little bit of a different opinion now. Because it's easy to see what they're doing and go, no, I'm not into it. But dig a little bit deeper with Ghosts.
Yeah. There's definitely depth there, 100%.
Or more importantly, if you get a free ticket and you're not into them, go.
Oh yeah, go and see the show. It's
Different,
it's a proper show.
different ball game. I went to the 2-hour one. I've seen the festival set, which is not. It's not good enough because you don't get enough Ghost in it.
Yeah.
You don't really get the full range of their stuff. I went to the 2-hour one. And listen, if you get a free ticket or you're thinking about checking it out, just go to them or check out Meliora anyway. So, who's your next misunderstood artist?
My next, I nearly said my next,
My next.
and it fits with the name of the band. My next band is No Effect.
No
And
effect.
this is a band that I'm actually not really that into.
Really?
They're fine. They're
Yeah.
perfectly fine. I think that the reason I think they're misunderstood